Welcome to the second intermission. The panel in just a moment on our three early games. Time for the Saturday headlines and Elliotte Friedman. If your name begins with the letter J, NHLers, pay attention. This is very important, as in Jack and Jacob and Jake and Josh. Elliotte, over to you.
Very well done. Very well done. Yes, there is definitely a theme, Ron. And we'll start with Vegas tonight, where Jack Eichel is not playing. The team announced today he will be out for the game tonight. Now, it goes back to Wednesday's loss against Thursday's game against Boston. He was injured and he left the game temporarily but came back. So nobody really thought this was a big deal. But afterwards, the soreness continued, and they decided to do some further testing, and they're probably not going to know for a couple of days about where this is going to go. Now, nobody likes injuries, and nobody wants to see this to be a problem, but obviously, if this is anything more serious with Jack Eichel, it's huge in terms of the playoff race and the Golden Knights' chances to repeat. So it's something we'll be keeping an eye on over the next couple of days. Elsewhere, their opponent tonight is the Calgary Flames. It's the mentor's trip for the Flames, and his brother is on the trip with him, so they do not want to talk about it. Calgary doesn't, about any of the rumors flying around Markstrom. Here's what I can tell you, though. Number one, I don't believe they've gone to him with anything, any possibility of what could happen. Number two, he has a no-move clause, and as the birthday boy, Kelly Rudy, always argues, no one with a no-move clause should be even asked if they can have it moved or be traded. And from what I understand, Calgary has a very high bar here in terms of they're not going to bother Markstrom with just anything. It would have to be something massive for them or somewhere they absolutely believe Markstrom would want to go before they would even consider going to him. So I think that's where things stand with Markstrom and the Flames and anything right now. Jake Guentzel was another name in the news this week. From what I understand, no determinations made on his future in Pittsburgh, but what I do think is the biggest factor here is where the Penguins think they're going as a franchise over the next couple of years. I think that is going to be the true determination of Guentzel's future in Pittsburgh or elsewhere. Meanwhile, in Ottawa, we talked about last week about the Senators looking for pros, players who they think can help them with the overall play and direction of the organization. That continues. From what I understand, the Senators have made it very clear that there are some real untouchables on their roster. Don't even ask about them. I do think generally, though, what Ottawa is doing is a new front office just gauging the market on a lot of their players. I don't think anything's imminent. I didn't get that sense in any conversations, but I do think they want to know what other teams think about their group. One other thing I did hear about Ottawa, thankfully, it doesn't sound like it's anything long-term serious for Josh Norris there. He's had enough injury problems. Want to see him healthy, Ron.
Absolutely, Elliot. I'll give you another, Jay. It's Jeff. You and Jeff did an excellent job on 32 Thoughts, the podcast, the Friday drop, dealing with the Corey Perry situation. It's a lot more involved because you had the time, but maybe just a quick synopsis on where we're at on that story.
So he initiated the meeting this week with the commissioner, Gary Bettman, and he learned he's in good standing with the league. I still think, though, that what's going on is everybody here is doing their due diligence. Teams on him. Are we missing anything? And him on them. Where does he want to go? Does he want a Canadian market? Does he want something a little quieter? I think they're going to be figuring that out over the next little while.
How did you like the birthday boy in his red All-Star sweater?
I will have to say some people look better in the Justin Bieber jerseys than others. That's as far as I will go, Ron. You know, the next phase in the All-Star, 10 players named today. I think next 7 to 10 days we'll know more about the captains. Don't be surprised if it's the likes of Matthews, McKinnon, McDavid, maybe somebody whose last name doesn't start with the letter M, but also the celebrity captains I think will be named soon too. Justin Bieber, obviously, the hope is he's going to be a huge part of that. Him and Matthews have a really good relationship, and I think people would love to see the two of them picking a team together. And finally tonight, Ron, a bit of a different story. So Cody Hodgson was the 10th overall pick in the 2008 draft by the Vancouver Canucks. He played 326 NHL games for the Canucks, the Sabres, the Nashville Predators, and he had to retire at the age of 26. And later on, he revealed that he was diagnosed with malignant hyperthermia, a muscle-related condition that really caused him some bad injuries and put him at risk. Well, last summer, Hodgson was given a clean bill of health. He resumed skating. He skates and trains 5 to 6 times a week. and he would like to try again. And I completely understand this. I spoke to him this week. If my career had ended in that way, I'd want to try again too. He's going to be 34 next month. He understands he's not starting in the NHL, and he knows nothing is guaranteed, but he'd like to resume his career, and he's looking for an opportunity out there. Wish him the best.
Saturday headlines. That's a great story, Elliotte. He's an amazing person, Cody. Newell Brown, his family, he thinks the game as well as anybody, so at 34, it'd be a breeze for him to get back at her. Kelly, let's get to our games.